BingX, a trusted global crypto exchange. Trade spot, futures, or copy top traders easily. Sign up via the link or referral code to get 30 USDT instantly, plus up to 1,500 USDT in bonuses for verification, deposit, and trading.
New South Wales Premier Chris Minns has acknowledged that controversial planning reforms, initially championed as a means to accelerate housing approvals, will indeed expedite the development of mining and power projects, including new mines and renewable energy ventures such as wind and solar farms. This admission comes amid significant backlash from environmental organizations and attempts by the Greens to introduce amendments, which the government has characterized as filibustering tactics. While Planning Minister Paul Scully's initial parliamentary address on the bill focused exclusively on its housing facilitation aspects, Premier Minns has been actively promoting its broader economic implications to the business sector. Speaking at the Sydney Investment Summit, Minns declared, "We are in the process of making NSW the quickest, the easiest, the most direct state to develop and realize big projects in," emphasizing that these planning reforms represent a core component of the government's economic strategy. This outreach to industry is not new. The Premier had previously addressed an international mining summit, stating, "We're looking at ways we can improve the planning system in NSW to get quicker approvals and quicker productive mines." He candidly expressed frustration with the current system, noting, "I want to be absolutely upfront here. The planning system has been letting us down badly in NSW. It's been frustrating how often the system is looking for excuses to say no, rather than ways of saying yes, and bringing on that investment." Minns indicated that the government has dedicated substantial effort to fundamentally altering this ingrained bureaucratic culture. He assured that while New South Wales would not descend into a Wild West scenario, there was a critical need to be ruthless in getting rid of any duplication that's crept into the system. The Premier further elaborated that the planning legislation, slated for passage by year's end, would profoundly impact mineral exploration and the confidence that finance and capital need when investing in Australia. To streamline this process, an investment delivery authority, mirroring the successful Housing Delivery Authority model, has been established as a central point for navigating the state's approval processes. Minns explained this authority's purpose, this time not for housing, but to speed up large-scale commercial projects through the planning system. "So there's certainty when you put investment down in our jurisdiction." These pronouncements ignited a strong rebuke from Greens MLC Sue Higginson, who has consistently warned that the reforms would grant the planning minister sweeping powers, potentially bypassing crucial environmental considerations and public interest assessments for mining and energy projects. Higginson expressed dismay, stating, "It's shocking, but unsurprising that the Premier has admitted that the government's controversial planning reforms will be used to fast-track mining projects to a room full of miners and their lobbyists, despite the government saying they are about the housing crisis." She further accused Minns and Scully of making unscrupulous attacks on the Greens for their efforts to incorporate safeguards, such as anti-corruption measures, environmental protections, and community participation provisions. Higginson asserted, "As soon as I looked at these laws I knew they weren't just about housing," and alleged that the Minns government had misled the public and Parliament. She highlighted the stark contrast between the planning minister's initial parliamentary introduction of the bill, which conspicuously omitted any mention of fast-tracking mining approvals, and the Premier's subsequent candid admission, when questioned by The Guardian about whether mining and energy projects would still undergo full environmental assessment under the new planning framework. Premier Minns affirmed, "Yes, they are still be subject to the existing environmental assessment," adding another layer to the narrative. Premier Minns publicly thanked the Urban Development Institute of Australia, UDIA, and its CEO, former Liberal MP Stuart Ayres, for their significant contributions to the planning reform process, noting that the UDIA had been fundamental in advising both myself and the Minister for Planning about what a reform to the legislation would look like.